Thank you all for checking out the video. This is the full build on my 69 Camaro. We start out doing some scribing, use the gun primer scribing tool, hobby saw, and just got things all kind of prepped out into the way that they needed to be so that we could get some good lines in it and get the body as flat as I could. Chose black as the color of it. So there was, I wanted to make sure that my prep was a little bit in the good shape so that I could have a good finish that came out of it. I like the God hand sponges; they work really good. Kit was kind of a bagged kit, so just getting things kind of set up, and this is definitely speeded up. I had like 5.3 hours worth of footage that I sped up to make it all work using the Tamiya glue and some clamps. Worked out really well on that. The headers kind of fought me going together. Had to get them mocked up, and then I had to do some adjustments afterwards to get them to where they were gonna work right. I had a couple of kits that we were working with in this one, a couple of different bag kits. Kind of goes along with my little bit of stock Camaro collection that I got going on. Here I am test fitting the motor together. Found that I had to do quite a bit of shaving on it to get things to fit how I wanted them to. The intake didn't want to line up as smoothly as I originally wanted, so it took a little bit of extra work on that. Clamps, those are awesome deal on that. Kind of presetting everything up to make it as easy as I can for there in the later part of the build. I like to paint things with assemblies, so put like things together, stuff that are all going to be the same color, stuff along the lines of that. Using various different sanding sticks, whether it be from nail file companies, whether it be stuff that I picked up at the hobby shop. Get things nice and flat and smooth so that it had a good finish when it got done. I want to thank the guys that organize this and keep this thing going every year. It's quite a fun one to play in. I wish I was a little bit more active, but this year's been a little bit less on the bench for me. As we're sanding down, fitting things up, kind of doing a little bit of test fit. I know some people do some white glue mock-ups. If I can fit stuff together to where I'm happy with it, I usually go straight into the glue on that. Revell kit, you usually don't have to go too crazy with things anyways. They usually go together really well. As you see here, we got quite a few different tools that we use. This is a custom mix on my Chevy engine red. I use Tamiya, and it is 2 parts orange, 1 part red, mixed together, and it turns out to be a pretty nice shade of Chevy orange without having to get into some of the like perfect mix lacquers and stuff like that. I do like to brush paint a lot. I find it quite therapeutic on that part of it, so kind of rolled with that, and it coats really nice. I'm a really big fan of the Tamiya paints and how they work, especially their lacquer line. and I didn't cut any of the cleaning the brush out on the video, so you'll see it happen quite often. Here we are test fitting the interior pieces, getting them to where I'm happy with them. Just basic flat black on the coloring on it. Just start in one section and kind of work away with it. I use UV resin for my carpet, so this stuff has to be dried and cured, so try to get it on early versus late, and it has a good effect on it. So it often first get painted and then let it set off and cure up all the way. Prep work on the dash. There was a huge mold line in the top of the dash that had to get worked out on it, trimming everything up, making sure everything's happy. Seats had a pretty big mold line in them. Also, I wanted to make sure that they were cured real well, so glued them up and clamped them together. And then I went back in and added a little bit of extra glue on a couple of them to get a little bit of that, I believe it's called a capillary action, and it sucks the glue right down in. Let it set for a couple hours, and it's permanently bonded at that point in time, which is really nice. This has got some time afterwards on it, and sanding and scraping everything down to where it's nice and smooth and flat and looks like it's side of a seat. Works out really well. This is probably a different day in the build as well. I didn't track how many days this one took me to do. I've been finished with it for quite a while as of the editing of the video. Just sand it back to where everything's happy and everything's clean and nice. There's quite a big mold line on this center console. It took quite a bit of moving it around and getting it to where I was happy with it. I debated about building the car without doing a console, but ultimately I'm glad that I did with what I did on the wood grain with the dash. I think it really brought it in together. Here we are starting to paint the inside panels of the seats. In retrospect, I wish that I would have searched out and found the houndstooth decals to put over it, but this time I just did a dark gray silvery panel insert for the insides of the seats, and then I'll use flat black to do the rest of the seat. And I really like the contrast that they have on that. I did debate doing this as a full black seated car, but the silver kind of got me, especially with the charcoal carpet. It really fit and worked really well together. More cleaning of the brush, got to do that. Now we're back to painting some silver on the engine and transmission assembly. All the little pieces that need to go together with color that way. I really like playing with different finishes on whether it be gloss, semi-gloss, or flat. I like the contrast and playing with that and trying to find something that's kind of works and fits well on that. So here we're doing the wood grain on the dash, which is a couple of different colors of brown, and then I kind of smear the last color of brown so it's kind of streaky, and then I will finish that up with Tamiya's clear orange, and it gives a really warm finish to the wood, and really gives it a good life on that. And I don't know if it's gonna pick it up in the camera, but just a little bit of the clear on top of it, and oh, it brings it out and makes it look really good. I've done the same technique on steering wheels, on wood steering wheels, and on a pickup bed that had wood in it, and used a little bit of that, and it turned out really nice. Adding the black to the seats. While all the rest of the stuff is drying, and just kind of work from one part of it to the next. Put my paint on. Here we are putting the rest of the black on the interior, and this is just, to me, a flat black. Adding to the dash, and then we'll have a couple of white accents and a couple of chrome accents in there as well as it continues on. I had originally wanted and had plans of doing some wood grain on the door panels, but didn't find a convenient break point to it to where I could make it, one, to where it was really visible so you could see what I had done, and two, to just have a good point in the middle. Painting various parts in different shades of silver. I think I have like 13 or 14 different shades of just silver itself, different metal pigments, different brightnesses, different finishes, and the more I play with them, the more I enjoy those parts of it. So I took the chrome valve covers, and I didn't want them to be chrome per se. Got them glued on, and then I used one of the Model Masters metallizers when I added the color to it, and it really dulled down the shine of the chrome, but I used the chrome on the back part of it, so you still get the brightness out of that part, and I was really happy with the way that turned out. Aluminum intake, and I had I used Titan gold for radiators, and they turned out really good. And here we are applying that Model Master metallizer onto it. It seems to be very fragile over the chrome, so it scratches off super easy. Same thing with the headers. I used two different steps on that, and the finish is very different, but definitely a metal look to the tube on it. This one here, I had to work at getting the mold lines off on this header for sure. It definitely had a lot to work with on that. Maybe in a perfect world I would have designed and printed some different headers for it, but this one, everything fits and works real well with it, so run the kit as it is. Sometimes you got to build them that way. So here we are with the Model Masters metallizer as a first coat to get a base on it, and it seems to dry really fast. And I know they say airbrush ready on it, but I've had really good luck with brush painting them on and getting the finish that I was looking for out of it. Now we're gonna go back over the headers again with a all clad color, and this just deepens the metal feel to them as well. You have to make sure that you match when you're doing pairs like this, to where you match side to side, because you can put one coat too many on it. So here we are putting carpet in on the package shelf and in the main part of the car as well. So that is just a UV resin that comes out of my 3D printer. Take and you put your flocking onto it. It lasts until you cure it, and it's self-leveling, so it works really nice on that. Just put it in my run a UV light over it when you get done, and it's almost instantaneous carpet. Now we're painting some carburetors up to go onto the engine, and this is in Titan Gold, I believe. So at this point in time, we've got the car in through paint and through clear. Used a two-stage urethane base coat clear coat over the car and over the chassis pan as well. And I use scale finishes on the color itself, and I just used one of their black base coats. And the clear is DuPont Chroma Clear. 2 coats or so on the chassis so that it doesn't get super shiny, but it has a protectant to it, and it stays shiny. Off camera, we got the exhaust all done up. We're doing the springs in Model Masters. Now we're doing the front suspension, which is a mixture of Model Masters, Tamiya, and all clad for all the different metal finishes that the suspension had on it as well. While the chassis is sitting there drying with some of the detail paint that we've done to it, the car is currently in the dehydrator, getting cured up and warm. Had a little bit of a snafu when I painted it and ended up with some dirt in the paint. Usually I let that type stuff just kind of roll with, but this one here I did decide that I needed to go a little bit further and clean it up a little bit. And it could probably use another wet sand and polish, but it is complete as it is, so it'll probably stay just the way it is. You never really realize how many pieces the front suspension has until you start painting, and how many different colors you need to add to it in different steps. And it's probably more of an over-restored look to it than like a factory car, but they weren't using 2K clear back at that point in time, so, and I kind of like the way 2K looks. I like how deep it is and how smooth it lays out. Now we're going to get to wheels and tires. Usually I change wheels and tires. This time I decided I wanted to keep the rally wheels. I could have stripped the chrome off of them and went back through and all cladded the centers and the ring, but this time I played around with the Tamiya panel line first, and it didn't quite give me the depth that I was looking for, so I did paint the centers with just with a brush, and I'm pretty sure it's probably all clad that I used on that. The kit tires really had a lot of flash, and took quite a while to get them to where I was happy with them, and I even went with a little bit of pass around the outside to make them not look so plasticky and toy-y. I'm quite happy with the way that they turned out, for sure. Quite a lot of sanding and prep on those. And then after I got the tires done, as you guys will see in just a second, we'll go into painting the wheels, and I did them one by one, and just kind of worked away at them, and I was very happy with the results out of those. So this is wet sanding on the body. Worst part was on one of the B-pillars and the roof itself, but I decided I was going to do the whole body. Plus, it had been long enough that it had set long enough that the chemical bond would not have been there for the next layer of 2K. So it needed to be scuffed regardless. So 5,000 grit, and just start sanding away till it's flat. Try not to burn through. I was quite happy with how quickly it did flatten out nicely. It flattened out enough to where I probably could have went towards polishing at that point in time. I'm not particularly the greatest at polishing. I don't have enough experience in it to be very proficient with it, but I do know the process involved in it. I just always burn through the paint. I was quite happy this time that I didn't. In this stage here, if I had, I would have just gave it a little shot of color in that spot and then went into another coat of clear. This also gave me the opportunity to prep everything and decal before the next coat of clear, so all my decals went under clear so they don't peel up in time and cleaning and stuff like that. Went through and just made sure everything was as flat and as smooth as I could make it anyways. I did use a mixture of bare metal foil and Molotov chrome pen to do chrome around the windows and such. I believe I'm due for a new thing of bare metal foil. The adhesive on the back is starting to get a little bit on the wonky side, so here we are putting the decals in. I had a couple of different decal sheets to work with. I didn't put all the decals on. I just put the ones that the turn signals and the Camaro logos and stuff like that. Those went together really well. Nice pair of tweezers and a whole bunch of patience works really well on that. And as you can see, we've got a kind of a flat sheen to it, but it's got a pretty good shine that's built up behind it too. Then it got 4 more coats of clear after this part of it. This here is probably where the biggest jump in timeline came in. As you can see now, we're in final assembly on the car. Engine went together beautifully, went in beautifully. We got a good shine on the car, and just finishing up the final details, radiator shroud, grill, things along the lines of that, and it turned out really nice. Use a mixture of Tamiya glue as well as the BSI glue. Paint the radiator fan up, and then I'll install it, and then we're pretty much on the home stretch for assembly, using all clad for this one. And just the last couple of black things, that'd be a battery. One more cleaning the brush. And this is installing the front splitter. That was a little bit of a worry going on with that. I wish I would have done it there. Here's our final photos of it. I took them with my phone, and they're not the world's greatest photos by any means, but gives kind of an idea of what I built. I'm super happy with the build and the way that it turned out. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for sticking through here to the end. I know it was a long video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.